Hey, good evening, everyone. The 548th meeting of the Planning Board of the Village of Depew will come to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Member Agnew.
Here.
Member Fedorovich.
Here.
Member Matusek.
Here.
Member Murawski.
Here.
And Chairman Maciejewski.
Here. Would everybody please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have notification of emergency exits, please.
The emergency exits are located to my left and to the rear of the room. In the event of emergency or alarm, please move in an orderly fashion to exit and evacuate the building.
Thank you. We have one item on the agenda for tonight. It's for the property located at 2197 George Urban Boulevard. Could we have the legal notice, please?
Please take notice that the Village of Depew Planning Board will hold a hearing on Thursday, June 2nd, 2022 at 7 p.m. A pre-board meeting begins at 6:30 p.m. in the OEM conference room in the council chambers of the municipal building, 85 Manitow Street, Depew, New York, to consider the application for submission by Michael Karuba on behalf of Karuba's Chicken Pit for property located at 2197 George Urban Boulevard. The following matters to be reviewed. They are requesting the following: final site plan approval for construction of 2 accessory structures and an outdoor cooking space. Any and all persons interested in such application will be heard at this time.
Thank you. And who is here representing the project? If you could come forward for the record, state your name, your relationship to the project, please.
Sure. Michael Lukaszewski, architect for the project.
Could you spell your last name for me, please?
Sure. It's Lukaszewski.
Thank you.
I could have spelled that.
It's right.
Yeah.
So, you're coming here for your final approval. You did get the consensual approval back in March. So if you could just address the issues that were brought up at that time.
Sure. At the time, some of the issues brought up were regarding safety with the traffic. So there is what I'll call a U-turn or a U-shaped traffic pattern on the property. So one of the comments from the board was to introduce some bollards, concrete bollards, as a safety measure. Thought that was a great idea, so we added 5 concrete bollards and showed that on the new revised plans. And then another comment was regarding roof runoff. And of course, we don't want to introduce any new water problems to the property, so we took what's currently green space, we're adding that accessory structure. So we're going to take the hard roof, we'll entrap any rain, we'll catch that, we'll divert that to the DI, the catch basin in the parking lot, with a 6-inch PVC pipe underground. And that should not have any negative impact on the water situation.
Yes, I know the engineer mentioned at the March meeting about the initial plan was to pave that whole area, and her concern was a runoff, and I see you do have it back to the green space.
That's correct, yep. We thought that was a great idea, so we are opting to follow that recommendation and keep that as green space.
And I know when we talked initially about repairing and fixing up the fence, I know we went above and beyond and replaced the entire fence.
Yeah, I think the owner looked at the condition of the existing fence. It was leaning and starting to decay in certain areas, so he graciously replaced the entire fence, so which was a nice gesture.
Perfect. Questions from the board members?
What is the setback on your dumpster?
We're proposing to keep that. I'd like to keep it at 5 feet. If the board recommends 10 feet, we could do that too. But
There's room to move it.
there's room to move it. 5 feet would be ideal if that's agreeable.
That's the code. So.
I believe it's 5 feet from the side property line, 10 feet from the back, so I think they're okay with that. I'll double check and get back to you, though.
Okay. Yeah, graphically on the plan, it's shown at 5 feet from the side and about, I think, 30 feet from the rear.
Any other questions for the board members? Legal, Sam?
Nothing from me, just my note, pre-meeting, make sure you use two motions, one for the state
Yep.
environmental review, one for the project, in that order.
Okay. Code enforcement?
Nope, they've taken care of everything we asked them to.
Nothing for me.
Engineering?
They've addressed all engineering comments.
Perfect. Public concerns and comments? Okay, being that this is the final approval, we do have to go through the seeker. I still think the secretary should read. So we will do the short seeker form. Name of the action or project group is Chicken Pit. Location 2197 George Urban Boulevard. Brief description of the proposed action, 50 by 60 pole barn with carport. Name of the applicant, Michael Karuba, 78 Manning Road, Buffalo, New York. Number one, does the proposed action involve legislative adoption of a plan, local law, ordinance, administrative rule, or regulation? No. Number two, does the proposed action require a permit, approval, or funding from any other government agency? No. Number three, total acreage of the site of the proposed action, 0.92 acres. B, total acreage to be physically disturbed, 0.06 acres. C, total acreage owned or controlled by the applicant or project sponsor, 0.92 acres. Number four, check all land uses that occur or are adjoining or near the proposed action, commercial and residential. Number five, is the proposed action a permitted use under the zoning regulations? Yes. B, consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan? Yes. 6, is the proposed action consistent with the predominant character of the existing built or natural landscape? Yes. Number 7, is the site of the proposed action located in or does it adjoin a state-listed critical environmental area? No. 8A, will the proposed action result in a substantial increase in traffic above the present levels? No. B, are public transportation services available at or near the site of the proposed action? Yes. C, are any pedestrian accommodations or bicycle routes available on or near the site of the proposed action? Yes. Number 9, does the proposed action meet or exceed the state energy code requirements? No. Number 10, will the proposed action connect to an existing public-private water supply? Yes. Will the proposed action connect to an existing wastewater utilities? Yes. Number 12A, does the project site contain or is it substantially contingent to a building, archaeological site, or district which is listed on the National State Register of Historic Places or that has been determined by the Commissioner of New York State Office of Park, Recreation, and Historic Preservation to be eligible for listing on the State Register of Historical Places? No. B, is the project site or any portion of it located in or adjacent to an area designated as sensitive for archaeological sites on the New York State Historic Preservation Office Archaeological Site Inventory? No. Number 13A, does any portion of the site of the proposed action or lands adjoining the proposed action contain wetlands or other water bodies regulated by a federal, state, or local agency? No. B, would the proposed action physically alter or encroach into any existing waterland or water body? No. Number 14, identify the typical habitats that occur on or are likely to be found on the project site. Suburban. 15, does the site of the proposed action contain any species of animal or associated habitats listed by the state or federal government as threatened or endangered? No. Number 16, is the project located in the 100-year floodplain? No. Number 17, will the proposed action create stormwater discharge either from a point or non-point sources? No. Will stormwater discharges flow to adjacent properties? No. B, will stormwater discharges be directed to an established conveyance system, runoff, and storm drains? Yes. Proper drainage will be installed. Number 18, does the proposed action include construction or other activities that will result in the impoundment of water or other liquids? No. Number 19, has the site of the proposed action or an adjoining property been the location of an active or closed solid waste management facility? No. Number 20, has the site of the proposed action or adjoining property been the subject of remediation for hazardous waste? No. And it's signed by Michael Karuba, the property owner. At this time, a motion is in order to make a recommendation to the village board, which is the lead agency, to declare a negative declaration.
I remember David Fedowitz make the motion to accept the site plan as submitted.
But we're doing the,
Seeker, I'm sorry,
we're doing the seeker
Accept the seeker as submitted.
and make a recommendation to the village board for a negative declaration.
Recommendation to the village board.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
On a motion by member Federowicz, second by member Egner. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Agnew.
Aye.
Member Fedorovich.
Yes.
Member Matusek.
Yes.
Member Borowski.
Yes.
And Chairman Maciejewski.
Yes, 5-4, motion's carried. Now we would need a motion to accept the site plan as submitted.
I, Member Matusek, make a motion to make a recommendation to the village board to accept the site plan as submitted with the following stipulation that we just get back about the setback on the dumpster.
Is there a second?
I, Member Morowski, second that motion.
On a motion by member Matuzak, seconded by member Borowski to make a recommendation to accept the site plan as submitted. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Agnew.
Aye.
Member Fedorovich.
Yes.
Member Matusek.
Yes.
Member Borowski.
Yes.
And Chairman Maciejewski.
Yes, 5-4, motion's carried.
Thank you.
Congratulations, gentlemen, and good luck. We look forward to the opening, that's for sure.
Get her done.
Thank you very much for your time. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good night.
With that, a motion is in order to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Motion by member Borowski, second by member Federowicz to adjourn. We will adjourn the meeting at 19:12 hours. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you, everyone.
That was a good, quick night.
Difficult.